providing and maintaining high recreational value areas. It's not really a recreational value area unless people go back there.
There were beer balls back there.
I mean, people may go birding back there, people may hike back there. It's always, you know, you don't know what, but it's not a town recreation area. It's not an area that's recognized as a walking trail by people. And the final one they have here is protecting and maintaining water quality, and that's the issue I think that we just talked about.
That's a sincere issue.
That's a sincere issue that you've got to be concerned with, because bottom sand filters, although they're very high technology, they do require a lot of maintenance. They do require electricity, and there's always that possibility.
It is the best
They
technology
can't fail.
available.
It's the best technology available. And unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why these types of properties are proposed now, because we have the technology to do it, where before we didn't have the groundwater table level that we could do. So those are the kinds of things that we would have to respond back to the DEM to, in addition to our litany of recommended denials if we wanted to use up the history. We have a long history on this property. The last thing, which is just something to bring to your attention, poor Mr. Phelan won't be happy about this one. I can find it, I just got it a minute ago. I guess when he redeemed the property, the original value in 209 value of the property was $259,289, and it was currently dropped down by the tax assessor at $86,100.
Okay.
The value of the lot.
The
The
value of the assessed value. This was in October 5th of 2009. On April 5th of 2010, Mr. Phelan sent a letter to, yes, a letter. It's not an email, it's a letter. It was stamped and received on this 7th of April to Ken Gray, the tax assessor, and it says, "Dear Ken, pursuant to our phone conversation on April 5th, 2010, I'm writing to protest vision appraisals assessment, they did all assessment valuations. As you know, you reduced the last assessment to $86,100 based on the vast wetlands on the property." First thing he says. "I'm not sure that Vision realized it is an unbuildable." He states that it's an unbuildable lot. These records show the old assessment of $259,000 and not $86,000. Okay. Anyway, since land values are decreased 35% over the assessed value, recently it should be reassessed at $550,000. So the thing he did, he recognized in April of this year that it was an unbuildable lot.
So it just kept going,
Yeah, and I've got a call into the solicitor to ask him what this means. And the applicant knows that it's an unbuildable lot, at least for tax purposes, he felt it was an unbuildable lot. So we need to clarify that. Doesn't actually help us.
Yeah.
You might, it doesn't help us, yeah.
Sure, it was.
Well, it's just, it's
high.
yeah. I think it was more for tax reasons that he was raising the issue. He wanted to pay the least amount of value on the property, but that was where he proposed the bill. Yes.
This is a ranch house?
That's my understanding, right?
Does it have a basement? Or is it on a slab?
I don't know if that's been decided.
We have no plans right now. These are just site plans. Just site plans.
Sure.
My other
Both
thing
options.
is that this is a wooded lot, that's why it absorbs some of the water. You're going to take the trees away.
No question. My house lot was wooded at one time, and yours was, and all the rest of them were.
It lives here, so the purpose.
When we started this, the whole west side of Gondola was wooded. So that's changed dramatically. Anyway, does anybody have any other questions? Anybody here?
What's our game plan for tonight? Are we making recommendations?
Well, put it this way, we need to do something if we're going to send something by the second. And what I need is a motion for whatever. There's some recommendations that we put into a letter, and we'll get a letter. I talked with Wetlands today, and they said we can fax them the letter as long as we put it in the mail on the postmark before before 4 o'clock on Friday, which is possible. And that's why we're holding this special meeting to decide what we want to do. Does anybody have I think we can get something in. I think we can get something in the word, but what I want to know is what your feelings are as a group. This is a group decision. It's a conservation ruling. We're concerned now. We're not concerned about the 308.
Right.
308.
It's strictly DEM.
This is strictly DEM. 308 will come back to us, and we'll have to deal with it again at 308. And that's the setback, 150 feet. We don't worry about that now. We're just dealing with what DEM said. Basically, it's a proposal to alter wetlands.
So can we do a letter to DEM that basically just opposes it based on the things we talked about, which is it'll.
If you'd like to make a motion,
Drainage, I would like
to
to.
make a motion and state, if you want to state the reasons that we talked about, that's,
So the reasons would be.
we'll make a formal motion, make a formal motion.
I move that we write a letter to DEM opposing the request for variance.
For alteration.
For alteration.
Their
Because
request is,
it will change the flow of the drainage and potentially increase likelihood of flooding.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I have a technical question with that.
It could inhibit groundwater recharge and prevalence, the available wetlands available for that.
hit the key points and then we can.
Yeah, I'm not sure can we reasonably say wildlife habitat other than the usual?
You can.
Habitat is habitat.
So basically,
It's not a
concern
primary
over-
concern, but it's certainly any
Concern over wetlands habitat and concern over protecting and maintaining water quality.
And
Is there anything?
cumulative impacts
Because
of
it's-
previous, yeah, we definitely put cumulative. And we can mention that we have a tracker on
You
this,
can
on this
provide-
road. We can provide that, I can
A
provide
little
all
bit
the,
of history, but I would keep it limited
Yeah.
to specifically in Continental, right, in that section of
Right.
Woodland. I just have a question, do we need to?
well, we have a motion. The only other thing to add to your motion is it's, project is proposed will result in alteration and or disturbance of at least 5,349 square feet. I'm gonna put that in there. Or 0.12
Then
acres of
have to
freshwater.
second her motion and then.
Right, but I just want to make sure,
add to it.
right, okay.
I will second
Right,
her
second
motion.
motion, second motion, okay, is there any discussion about the motion?
Yes, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
First of all, I would think that the primary thing that should go in up front is just the fact that the building and the well are located entirely within a 50-foot perimeter wetland and a 100-foot perimeter wetland.
Mhm.
And then we get, I think all the justification you said, Maureen, is great, but the thing that hits you in the face is
Say that again, 50 foot and,
the building and the well are both located within a 50-foot perimeter wetland and a 100-foot riverbank wetlands. And then the question is, do we write a letter of opposition or do we ask the EM to deny? What's the,
basically what they asked.
what do they ask for when they ask for comments? We're
Just get
actually
there. Yeah, just let me get there.
recommending they deny, huh?
Well, they say if you have good reason to enter a protest against the proposed project, you have a privilege to do so. Objections to the proposed project must be related to the following, and that's what we have.
Okay.
So
So
the
we're
motion is
asking,
we're submitting a protest.
Well, we submitted a letter recommending, objecting to the issues of the permit or recommending denial of the permit, whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to see if there's another.
well, because it's an objection to the proposed plan.
And
As
anytime we do,
submitted.
right, anytime we do that, we cite the plan, the date, and everything, so there's no confusion about which plan we're talking about. The last thing you want to do is
Mixed plans.
mix plans, because they can really get in trouble with that. So you gotta have an exact plan, as submitted on such and such a date, to the town of Jamestown on such and such a date. That all gets documented very carefully. Okay. Yeah, it really doesn't say.
Okay.
It says to exercise its right to disapprove of this application. So the town, it says the town or city can disapprove, recommend, can disapprove.
So we're objecting to the application
Yeah,
based on
objecting to the
this
application,
plan.
It's worded.
Understand.
Is there any, we have the motion made, second, any other clarification? Marty, do you have the, that's all included in the
I think I
motion?
got it.
Okay, so you got the square footage.
Only other
Yeah.
thing that I don't know, did you say specifically the proximity of the bottom of the central, it's outside of the 100-foot riverbank wetland, but it's still.